Okay, we are live. Hey devs, what's up? Welcome to the live stream. This is the AI developer back at you once again. My name is Dean Bites, and today we're going to dive deep on stories that every software engineer needs to see right now, but probably isn't. All right. Now I cover many things that a lot of other channels in the same space don't cover, just because my research is a little bit uncanny, right? It's just me stumbling upon many things, right? So why are so many tech workers ditching stable jobs for gig apps? So someone just open sourced the exact Python bot behind thousands of faceless YouTube cache machines. We've got an app turning dog training into Duolingo that's doing $300,000 a month, right? Finch's, right? Mascot onboarding is pure genius, and we'll talk about what Finch is in a second. Open Montage, the first open source agentic video studio, a vibe coded tool that scrapes Google Maps, reads reviews, and writes hyper personalized cold emails. And then we have a simple QR code generator pulling $3.6 million a year with an ugly website. Now, these aren't just headlines, they're blueprints for what we build, how we monetize, and the realities of the job market we're all navigating, right? So, we're covering every single one in depth with code angles, lessons for indie hackers, and what it means for your career. Drop your thoughts below in the chat and let's dive in. So, smash like if you're a builder. All right, let's go ahead and jump right in. I already have the first story pulled up here. So, now, first up, this economy media video is, I don't want to say it's blowing up, but why are so many tech workers turning to gig work? The conclusion nails it, right? So the gig economy was sold as a flexible lifeline, but it's become a cycle of precariousness without regulation. So millions are trapped while platforms maximize profits at the expense of worker stability and the quality of life. So here's the data. App-based gig participation grew 50% from 2022 to 2024. The drop in official unemployment was almost exactly matched by 3 million more active drivers on Uber, Lyft, or DoorDash. Tech layoffs plus AI displacement are pushing devs into this. People lose full time roles but skip unemployment, paperwork, and just hop on an app. Instant cash, no questions. But in the reality is, it's brutal, right? 6 out of 10 drivers now work 10 plus hours to earn what they used to make in three. 8 out of 10 grind 8 plus hours just for basics. Platforms take 60 to 80% of fares. Algorithms are literally designed to charge the rider as much as possible and pay the driver as little as possible. Now this is coming from a summary of the video that was generated. This isn't my opinion, right? But as a gig driver, I'm not saying I disagree with the sentiment. Market saturation, active delivery workers up 80% in 2 years, but revenue per worker barely moved. Vehicle costs up 30%. Only one in three new gig workers keep stable income after 6 months. 40% of new drivers earn barely above minimum wage. Automation, robo taxis, drones are coming fast. So 30%, 35% of drivers think their job disappears in 3 years. Now, that's an interesting point, and I want to touch on that quickly. 35% of drivers think their job disappears in 3 years. You've already seen the robo taxis on the streets as far as DoorDash in my area. So, yeah, in 3 years, I would say that because I was around when Waymo had their pilot, which was also in my area. And then I want to say from the time they had their pilot to the time that they actually launched, which is when everyone is kind of hearing about them, which is now, I want to say that probably was about 3 to 4 years. So that wouldn't be incorrect to say. So 35%, that's about a third of drivers who think that. So for us software engineers, this really hits home because layoffs in big tech AI or big tech and AI replacing junior and mid-level coding tasks, that was kind of, 3 months ago. Now we're kind of moving towards AI taking over, many even, I want to say, mid-level engineering roles, right? Or standard level engineering roles, right? Not just junior level. So many software engineers, such as myself, are freelancing on Upwork and building side gigs. That's something I've always done. the lesson is you don't want to rely on one platform. I tell you guys all the time, as a software engineer, you have the ability to diversify your income. So it's just a matter of marketing and distribution and figuring that out. Now, whether you go and you do code sales, whether you go and you actually market yourself to consumers, whether you build consumer apps, there's a bunch of different avenues to go in. But it's all about figuring out where you want to build and where you want to monetize and just kind of going full fledged into that area. Now, so build your own tools instead of just using them, of course. Regulation is coming too, but until then, the system favors the platform. So, what's your take in the chat? So I don't see any messages right now, so we'll keep on moving. So, story number 2, an open source Reddit video maker bot. Now, this someone open sourced this tool. Now, before you guys go and download this Git or clone this repository, just be very careful. All right. I know I haven't touched this repository. I don't know anything about it. So there are tools out there that allow you to scan repositories before you actually clone them down. So, or something of that nature. So please do your due diligence. But anyway, so someone open sourced the tool behind thousands of anonymous YouTube channels, one Python script, one Reddit link, and one finished MP4. No face, no mic, no editor, and no team. So this is what it does instantly. It pulls your Reddit thread. Um, it takes screenshots of the post plus every top comment. It narrates with hyper realistic AI voice. It slaps Minecraft or GTA gameplay in the background, overlays comment cards, and renders a complete video ready to upload. So there have been channels with 500,000 to 2 million subs that are making like 10K plus per month in ad revenue. The creator never records anything. It just run, upload, and repeat. Now it's free on GitHub with 7,000 stars. So there is the GitHub link right there. Like I said, you guys just be very careful because I don't know anything about this. This is just something I found on Twitter, and I'm just sharing it with you guys for the sake of news, and so you guys can be up to date on what's kind of going on. So as software engineers, this is gold. It's pure automation. Selenium for screenshots, PTS APIs, video editing libraries, probably MoviePy or FFmpeg under the hood for this if you go and check out the code. Background footage overlay. You can fork it and add your own twist, but like I said, be careful. Faceless content is exploding right now because AI kind of lowered the barrier to 0. So you can build once and run forever with this automation. So this could be a weekend project for you. Let me know who's closing it tonight in the comments if you do decide to try it out. Now, number 3 on our list here, we have this dog training app. It's Duolingo for dogs. Um, it turns dog training into Duolingo and it prints $300,000 per month. This is a very simple app. 100K downloads per month. It has streaks, XP, bite-sized lessons, badges, $8 per week subscription to teach, sit, stay, and no barking. YouTube has free tutorials, but it doesn't have a streak counter. It has no daily nudges, no progress tracking for your actual dog. So it makes you think about why people download apps and why the app market, is so lucrative, right? The psychology is everything here. Gamification creates a dopamine loop. Grandmas don't need the app to train, they need the streak. So for devs, this is the playbook. Take any boring habit, coding practice, language learning, fitness, and Duolinguify it. Simple backend with user progress, database, daily reminders via push, clean mobile UI, subscription paywall after habit hooks, and then one guy vibe put is something similar and it's scaling. So the moral here is stop building tools, build addictive loops. Now moving on to our next story. So Finch is one of the best mascot app examples out there, and this is exactly how they onboard. So I thought this was going to be very useful because I figured this week we can kind of talk about marketing and distribution for all of you guys out there who may be struggling with that. So this is exactly a good case study for how this app onboards. So you can create your own personalized penguin mascot immediately, right? When you come into the app, there's smooth animations everywhere. It collects key data naturally, so no boring forms. And then it generates a tailored self-care habit plan on the spot. So then you have the paywall. So it's limited time, 50% off. urgency plus 7-day free trial on the annual. So it's very important how you guys understand how you guys want to introduce your paywalls and how you guys handle retention and click offs, right? And so those are things you want to look into. So by the time you hit the wall, you're already attached to the little penguin buddy. Onboarding stops feeling like onboarding. So look at this. There's another, let's see, case study here I wanted you guys to look at, and it is an AI generated BJJ influencer account with 235,000 followers, and it's zero real persons, right? So the creator says you don't even need OnlyFans money. You just use it to promote apps, products, or your own BJJ training tool. Instagram algorithm loves established accounts. The moral for software engineers here is that mascots plus AI generated personas equals instant emotional hooks in distribution. So you want to build your own mascot with Lottie animations or Rive, and you want to pair that with AI avatars. So conversion rates skyrocket when users care about the character before they see the price. So let's move forward here. Now we have Open Montage. So this is the world's first, supposedly, right, open source agentic video production system. Now I haven't checked out the repo, guys. So once again, be careful with this one because I take no responsibility for this. I don't know anything about this. I just found this on Twitter. And like I said, you want to check out these repos before you think about like downloading them. But I wanted you guys to be up to date on, what this was. So supposedly it's the world's first open source agentic video production system. You give it a normal prompt, 60-second sci-fi trailer about AI, and your cloud or cursor turns into a full film studio. So it has 11 professional pipelines, 49 tools, 400 plus agent skills. It researches, writes script, generates assets, edits, adds voiceover, music, subtitles, and renders. Example cost is about 15 cents to $2. And here's the repo here. Like I said, be very careful. Careful. If you don't know what you're doing, don't mess with the repo. Right. I don't know anything about this repo. I don't know. I haven't downloaded it at all. And like I said, there are security risks as it pertains to down forking repo or cloning down repos and forking repos that you haven't necessarily analyzed the code as far as for security purposes and for potential vulnerabilities and for potential things that could be silently kind of operating on your machine if you potentially download it and run it. So be very careful. Now this is agentic AI at its peak. Multi-step orchestration, tool calling, long-running workflows. As software engineers, you can run it locally, carefully. If you check it out, extend the agents or plug in your own models. Now, content creation just got commoditized. Indie creators and agencies are about to explode. Now, let's move on. Now, this is another one. Like I said, I don't know anything about this or the people who, this guy seems like he's a little bit more maybe legitimate, right? He has more than a Telegram. So someone vibe coded this in 2 weeks with Claude. You type any business plus city, and it scrapes Google Maps for every matching spot, right? 30 plus data fields. Then it visits websites live for verified emails, phones, socials, and reads up to 50 Google reviews, extracts exact pain points. You tell it what your product does, and it cross-references and writes fully personalized code emails based on their customers' complaints. And then it sends one by one, um, and which those land in primary inbox and not spam. And all these drop into a GPS mapped CRM. So it draws sales territories, optimizing driving routes, tracks teams, transcribe voice notes, and work in 200 plus countries. So yeah, that's pretty crazy. Insane leverage with this tool. Traditional sales teams just got replaced by one script. The tech stack under the hood is the Maps API with scraping layers, web scraping, LLM review analysis, email personalization, deliverability, infra. An ethical note for this is the Google Terms of Service hates scraping. A lot of websites are going to hate scraping, but the speed of vibe coding this shows where we're at. Lesson here is chain APIs plus LLMs plus CRMs, and you replace the entire department. So we're pretty much at that stage if you know how to chain these tools together. Now let's move on. Now this is one of our last stories here. Now we have a QR code generated website which is doing $3.6 million a year. $2 million page views per month from pure SEO. 850,000 lifetime customers. $20 a month pricing. Zero investors. One ugly website. So the simplest idea wins. No fancy AI, just rock solid utility people need repeatedly. Business cards, means events, and they own the long tail keywords. So the moral here for every dev is stop chasing trends, solve one boring high intent problem really well, nail SEO, and let compounding do the work. So ugly over engineered. Now, to wrap it up, some quick fire takeaways for software engineers would be the gig economy is a warning. Build multiple income streams and don't get trapped. Open source plus automation equals massive leverage. So ship tools that run themselves. Gamification plus mascots equals sticky products that convert. So vibe code with Claude Code in weeks, not months. Simple utility plus SEO still prints millions. So the future belongs to builders who combine AI speed, open source sharing, and real user psychology. Which story are you most excited to try? Drop it in the chat. If you want the full GitHub list or my breakdown doc, comment links down below in the comments. Huge thank you for hanging out. Like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Next live will be tomorrow. I'll see you guys in the comments. Devs, build something this week. Don't play around. And I'll see you guys in the next one.